We are live on
Day
draft.
two
Well,
in the
draft day
books.
two. Day two in the books. Day one and two in the books. We weren't here last night, so we'll still
I
talk
was in
about that a
no
little bit.
state to podcast last night, I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, man. Looks like it was a fun night. I'm not gonna lie.
It
Not
was a
gonna
good
lie.
time, man. It was a good time.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. But we got plenty. We got plenty to break down tonight. Then
I
we'll go
love what your
through.
shirt says.
Oh yeah. Oh, here you go.
The Murph.
Murph. Oh yeah, dude. Did three times now? Doing a fourth time this in
I'm
Memorial
talking
Day.
about the Byron Murphy.
Mm.
Byron Murph.
Yeah, there you go. I wore it for you, man. I wore it for you. That's right. That's right. Byron Murphy,
Look at that
Seattle
handsome
Seahawks.
fella in the top right.
Oh yeah, look at that. These two are teammates now.
I know.
Look at that. Look at that. It's like they knew. It's like they knew.
I bet they probably knew. I bet they probably told Caleb that they were targeting Rome.
Yeah.
But Caleb's
Which makes
scream
sense.
when he got picked, it's like, come on, man. You are never beating the
He's
allegations.
never beating the allegations, man. He's never beating the allegations. But you know what? That's all right.
Oh,
I'm
I don't
sure.
care. It's a funny
Yeah.
joke, though.
If Chicago wins, I'm sure they won't care too much about the allegations at the end of the day.
Speaking of
But
allegations, though, Carl Nassib was being a total dork on the stage. Save your money, guys.
I didn't hear what he said, honestly.
He was
What did he
telling people
say?
to save money, save their money.
Hey man, hey
Just like
man.
in Hard
It's
Knocks.
not bad advice. It's not
Not
bad
bad
advice.
advice. Just kind of
Yeah,
dorky. He's always been a
yeah,
dork.
yep, yep. But um, yeah. Shall we hop into? We do have 100 picks to break down, so we should probably
Oh
hop
boy.
right into it. We'll obviously spend more time on spend more time with Caleb
Sorry you
Williams.
broke out there for me, buddy.
Oh, hold on. Are we back?
Speak a little bit more.
Hello? Hello?
You're good. You're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my um microphone disconnected for a second. I even got the pop-up saying it did, but okay, we're back now. We're back. So
Very nice.
won't have to spend a lot of time talking about Caleb Williams. I don't think this has been the decision for months
Pretty
on pretty
tame
much a
fit.
year.
Pretty tame fit.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I was expecting him to go a little crazy.
Me
Actually,
too.
it wasn't a bad look. It wasn't a
No,
bad look. It
not
looked all
not bad
right.
at all.
Um, Yeah, there you go. Did you see the report that came out? I don't remember if it was Wednesday or on draft day that Roger Goodell had back surgery. So he was like, it wasn't sure if he was going to be giving out any hugs this year.
Oh,
And then Caleb
really?
Williams came out and just gave him, I was watching it, came out and gave him like the hardest like dap and hug
Boo.
ever. And he was like, ugh. And then JC Latham came and just finished the job
Oh
later.
yeah, that back
Uh,
is broken.
yeah. Hey, he was
It's like
walking
those
today
those
though.
pick up Goodell ones, then
Mhm.
he like lose feeling in his legs and they dangle around.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, not a lot to talk about here. Did the right thing. Jaden Daniels, another one that's been chalk
Pretty
for
it
a
was a
while
pretty
now.
chalky first four, if not five.
hmm Yeah, I would say if you knew the Chargers weren't going to trade out, which I think the chalk was that they would. If you thought they were going to stay there, you could argue very chalky top five here.
Mhm.
So no, I would even say six at that point,
I think
honestly.
that's fair. Yeah.
I think until you get to six, pretty chalky. With no trades. Again, if you
Drake
a
May,
lot of
I saw that Drake May taped over jersey like 10 times in the last 2 days. That one
yep,
guy, he's getting the press. Marv's fit, his sunglasses look like grandma sunglasses, like they're really like
yeah,
the blind ones.
yeah, yep.
Joe Alt looked like a kid. He looked like he
He
was 8.
does. He's got a baby face,
He
man.
does.
He's got a baby face.
But as Harbaugh says, he's a weapon.
Offensive linemen are weapons. I know you're going to talk about weapons. Offensive linemen are weapons. Then he took at Lad McConkey in the second round, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. I don't want to do too many spoilers
I
here.
think the Giants are going to regret taking Malik instead of Rome. I think in the long term. You see
That's
the report that they filmed a meeting of him and Daniel Jones this morning, but it was so awkward that they didn't post it.
To be fair, I did see that report, but it was from a parody account.
Dang it. I wish it was
I
real.
know. I know. I wish it was too. As soon as I saw who it was, and they were the same. They'd been posting parody stuff all off season, so that's how I knew. But um, They have actually they look legit the way they have it. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
got there. Damn it. But there's definitely a shred of truth in that.
It was it honestly probably was. It
I'm
was
I'm
so
ex
awkward that it posted.
the biggest thing about Malik is, can he get off jams? That's always gonna be the
Mm,
biggest question, right? Rome can, Marv can. I don't know if we'll have to see if Malik can. They gave him a lot of cushion.
hmm Um, let's see. As we move to, oh boy, I won't show eight yet. Obviously, we'll talk about eight, but seven, JC Latham. Boy, when I tell
Surprising.
you, I clapped when this pick came in.
Oh,
I
I
did.
laughed. I
I was
laughed.
like, oh, let's go.
Relief.
He's not going to be a it was relief, man, because sometimes you got to rely on other teams to save your team from
Hmm.
itself. This is one of those
That
cases.
was funny
I'm
that you posted the Ted Karras gift. GIF.
up yours, Tennessee.
That was awesome.
Oh, love that.
Didn't
Oh, that's a
expect
bit.
that. We didn't expect that. But we
No,
were saying
no.
the NFL likes him.
Yeah, NFL likes him. I thought a lot of people probably had him as the first or second best tackle in the draft, and obviously he was the second tackle taken. So, obviously I disagree.
Me
A
too.
lot of analysts disagree, but the NFL didn't disagree, or at least Tennessee didn't disagree. Um, is this a reach for need? They probably thought Alt would be on the board, and he wasn't. Who knows? Not a good pick though, in my opinion.
I'd take Charles Cross over JC
Oh, definitely. Because Charles Cross can actually move laterally.
Latham.
Um,
You know who
well,
you know who you know who JC Latham is?
who's that?
JC Latham is DJ Fluker.
I could see that. I could see that.
I don't think JC Latham's gonna stick at tackle too long.
No,
Hey,
I don't
big
think so.
guards are back, man. They're in right now. We're running gap scheme more and more.
That's right. That's right. So JC Latham is a Tennessee Titan, just like Isaiah
Shock.
Wilson.
Shock of
Just
the
like
world.
Isaiah. Ah, yeah. There we go. Let's talk. Let's talk
I
the.
was shocked
I
that
was
the Falcons
because
took him.
so I was like, yeah, here's where the first defense went to commercial when the Falcons were picking. Then the pick was in. And I watched this on ESPN with audio and everything.
Me too.
Um, they came back from commercial, and Adam Schefter is like, "Don't be surprised if the Falcons take a quarterback here
Oh,
or
dude
back
totally
to the
tipped
future
that
here."
pick.
And I was like, "You serious?" And I was like, "No, there's no way." And then my brother freaking spoiled it for me. He texted me because he was checking Twitter saying, and he said it was going to be Penix, and I was like, "Damn it!"
Is your brother
Oh,
a Husky fan at all?
no, no.
No. Um,
He's a betting fan, is what he is.
that's fair. Well, he probably wasn't liking the Huskies this year, huh?
No, he actually. Well, I mean, he supported the Huskies because I did.
Mm. Uh,
He wasn't fading them.
so I couldn't really hear all the background stuff. I could only hear the da 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 da
Hmm
da, da, and the room would get quiet, and then
hmm
you could hear the pick a little bit. It was still kind of jumbled. I did hear Michael Penix, our whole table, and like a lot of people in the bar there too, were like, "Whoa!"
hmm
It was crazy.
Well, so Michael Penix Jr. is an Atlanta Falcon, and I don't know. Let's talk about this one.
Man, the
Let's talk
internet
about
does
this
not
one.
like it.
Oh man,
They
Falcons were getting
hate it.
absolutely flamed. And
I had it
I
first,
mean,
folks. I saw the workout. I saw where the magic happened. I saw where the
that's
decision
true.
was made.
That's true. I don't know, man. I don't know about it because, like, on one hand, I get you want to, and this is nothing against Penix as a player. I like Michael Penix. He's my QB4. He's the fourth QB picked. Yeah. Um, if you're gonna take a quarterback of the future, though, to eventually replace Kirk Cousins, who, by the way, you just signed to a 4-year deal, and the first 2 years are fully guaranteed, $100 million. I don't know if I want to take the 24-year-old with the knee injuries, the injury history. That's what
You should probably tell Kirk before too.
Yeah, and you should probably tell Kirk beforehand. Yeah, not while you're on. Yeah, so I know you every time you critique this pick, it comes across as you're saying Michael Penix isn't good. That is not what I'm saying at all. I
I
love
think
Penix.
there's a lot of there's fair room for critique on this pick.
This is a pick I'm going to be very critical of, and I do not get it at all. And I think he can be a really good player for Atlanta too. Like, don't get me wrong. I think when the time does come for him to take over in maybe 2 years, 2026, I think he's going to do well.
We're gonna have to
But,
wait 2 more years to see him play again. That sucks.
hmm hmm and the Falcons are in a window where they could have added someone that would have helped them secure what should be a stranglehold on the
Thank
NFC
God they
South.
didn't. Thank God they did it because we're reaping the rewards of that one. Thank you, Michael
Yeah.
Penix. You just make my life better and better, man. Because
So,
you know, it's some exciting weapons for him. I think Drake London could be his Rome. He's got Bijan, a great O line. I think there's a fair statement that Kirk is in his 30s coming off of Achilles.
yeah, he's 35. He's not young. He's not a young
Yeah.
buck by any means. He is not the QB of the future anymore. Michael Penix is.
I think it'll age well when Mike is slinging it in the A in a beautiful dome.
That's right. That's right. He had to play in Indiana and Seattle. He's used to playing the conditions. Now he gets to play in the NFC South.
Dome
Gets to play
Penix.
in
We
the
saw Dome
dome.
Penix in the Sugar Bowl, man.
Dome Penix was pretty
Oh,
insane.
and he's gonna go back down there this year. Oh,
Yep.
but the one thing that's even worse for Kirk is that spotlight and that seat got a whole lot hotter and brighter.
Yeah. And I saw this as a good point too, honestly, is that throughout his entire career, Kirk Cousins has never had like security.
He
Like
had
it's never
security in Minnesota. Yes, he
I don't
did.
he never really felt like he was the guy though. Like he was
Who was
kind
gonna
of
take his job there though? Kellen Mond.
no, not necessarily. I don't even necessarily mean in that sense, but like he's never been signed to like a 5 or 6 year deal.
I think that's his own doing though. I think he likes the short-term deals to make that money. Because rightfully use the QB market as an absolute exponential curve that keeps on inflating and it will continue to inflate for the rest of history. The quarterback position will never get least expensive. That's just
Yeah,
how it's going to work, right? It's going to rise with inflation.
that is true. That is true. You do bring up a good point there, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for Kirk, man.
I love the fit though. It's going to be good for Mike.
Yeah, gets to play in that Rams
Near home,
offense.
the A.
Yeah, well, he's from Tampa,
Near home, I said.
not near home. Yeah, he gets to go back. He does
And
get to go back to
and
Tampa
you know who
still.
his DC is going to be? Jimmy Lake.
The two
We'll get to
greatest
this
Huskies of all
later,
time.
but he also took
He
another
took
dude he recruited. I Jimmy was definitely down at the table for Braylon, I bet.
Oh yeah, he definitely was. He definitely was. Speaking of Washington guys, Roma Dunze went next to the Bears. Here you go. Third
Bears
wide
got
receiver off the
lucky.
board.
Bears got, just a steal.
He's a good player. Good player. JJ
Caleb to
McCarthy.
Rome's gonna feed families. The one thing that worries me is who their OC is. It's one thing that worries me. Because he couldn't use JSN right, you know?
Yeah, that's
Is Rome
true.
gonna be the wide
Although
receiver
no,
three there?
Keenan Allen's gonna be the slot guy, and it's gonna be Rome
Are they
and
gonna start throwing a bunch of bubble screens to Rome?
with our bubble screens, Keenan Allen.
Man.
Maybe honestly, they might. They might.
But Caleb to
DJ
Rome's gonna be a
DJ
lot of
Moore
fun.
actually. DJ Moore would be good with bubble screens, honestly. But yeah,
The
Caleb to
thing
Rome.
about that though is both Keenan and DJ Moore would actually be good in that role. So the thing is, he's not going to do that because he doesn't maximize them. I was saying this. I don't think Eberflus is going to make it through the season. I think he's going to get fired. And watch DeBoer go up there. That'd be pretty funny. Just fuck you to Bama. Just leave after 1 year. That'd be
1 year,
funny.
if he has to do good in that 1 year for that to happen. But
Hmm.
JJ to Minnesota did happen, like many predicted. Not in the
Didn't need to
way
trade
many
up.
predicted. They didn't have to trade up. They did have to trade up, but only one pick. And actually, funny thing too is Sean Payton said, I mean, the reason the Vikings did make the one pick trade up is because people like Sean Payton said he put out feelers that he was trying to go up for McCarthy, so he got the Vikings to trade up. It's
You
like,
just
okay,
trolled him.
he just trolled him apparently, is what he said.
Yeah,
So
right. I bet he was trying to get JJ. I bet he'd like JJ rather than Bo. Olu Fashanu. Before they're gonna regret this one ahead of Fuaga.
Fwanga. Fwanga.
They're gonna regret that one.
Yeah, fine. Fine. I don't know. I think Fashanu is a better pass blocker than Fwanga. And they do need to keep Aaron Rodgers upright. So, uh,
I laughed at this. I
I
laughed when
did
this
too.
happened.
I knew it was gonna happen to a certain point because the ESPN did the same thing. They cut to Adam Schefter and they're talking about Bo Nix, Bo Nix, Bo Nix, and I was like, I know you're not technically saying you're not saying outright the Broncos are gonna take Bo Nix, but come on, you're basically saying it. You're
I feel,
basically saying
I feel like the absolute scramble for quarterbacks is what influenced that. I feel
it.
like
Mhm.
maybe he wouldn't have been there with a trade down. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Day two didn't have any quarterbacks taken though. Spoiler alert. So, Bowers to the Raiders.
I was
So,
like, my instant reaction was like, wow, fuck Michael Mayer then, huh? Fuck
and
him.
that was my initial reaction too. But then I remember Luke Getzey's the tight end,
He
and
likes
he
his
loves
12
himself
personnel.
some. Yeah, he loves him some 12
12's on the
personnel.
rise too. But
Yeah,
I was just funny. It's like the 50 cent. What did you say fuck me for? That's Michael Mayer.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But no, Bowers and I don't know about the QB situation in Vegas still, but Bowers is a really good player. I can't
Yeah,
lie.
he'll be fine. Tight end's a
Yeah,
quarterback's best friend.
yep, that's true. That is true.
Gosh, Saints
Um,
needed a tackle. Okay, when we got after the Brock Bowers pick, I was like, holy shit, Byron Murphy's gonna be a Seahawk.
yeah,
Or he's gonna be there at least.
he's gonna be there. Yeah, and at that point, it's up to you guys to not screw up the
Because I was like,
pick.
they just took Brian Brzee. The Saints took Brzee last year.
Hmm.
The Colts have DeForest Buckner. So it's
Hmm.
like I don't think they got room for him. And then we knew the Saints were going to take a tackle, and they got lucky as hell getting Fuanga to be there.
Luongo's still there. Yep, yep.
And then the Colts finally broke the
Yeah,
streak of all
finally got
offensive
a
players.
finally got an offense player. And
And that's
it started a little mini run here too.
it's called the smart team started to pick.
Yeah. Yeah, the Colts. Yeah, got Law too. That's needs some edge rush help. That's a good pick.
I wouldn't have thought that Laiatu Latu would be the top defender picked, but he's a good player.
Hmm.
He's a good player.
I saw a lot of buzz on that early in the
Yeah.
week. Betting markets were kind of indicating that might be the case. So, yeah. Um, and the second defender taken. I don't know. You want to talk about this
Oh
Byron
my
Murphy
God.
fella?
I have a great reaction video. I was so hyped. You know, Pauline said they like Byron Murphy like a week ago. My
Hmm.
number one source said they'd stick and pick Murphy, and it happened. Oh, he's such a good player. He's a
Hmm.
really really good player. I mean, when I was preparing for the Sugar Bowl, I was like, Byron Murphy's gonna be a fucking problem to deal with, and he was. And Penix just outdueled him.
Hmm.
We couldn't block Byron Murphy in the Sugar Bowl. I know a bunch of Seahawks fans were like, we just got the next Aaron Donald. Yeah. It's like, okay, let's pump the
Slow down on
brakes a
that
little
one.
bit, guys. Okay, there Aaron Donald is one of one. But here's who we did get. We got Grady Jarrett or Geno Atkins. I mean, his base is just ridiculous. It's so strong. He's got a
Hmm.
really strong base, really good metal section, great hands and arms. Just he plays at 300 and he's got no fat.
Hmm.
Like maybe he's got functional fat, but like he's ripped. Great hands, twitchy as hell. I think he's gonna. I think Matabike is also a good comp. He's more polished than he was coming out. That's the thing. I think Byron Murphy is a pretty good bet for the rookie of the year. Him or Quinyon Mitchell would be my guess. I'm just absolutely thrilled. He's really gonna help make the McDonald defense tick.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts there, Bo?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if that's the MB McDonald's Matabike, pretty perfect. Pretty perfect as a fit there. Um, yeah, I mean, no complaints. Really, no complaints. You can stop the run really well, rush the passer. He was the most complete defense tackle prospect in this draft by a pretty wide margin. Um,
Mm. Honestly, he might have been my top defender in the draft. Him or Quinyon Mitchell. Where my it's close between those two.
Hmm.
Um, one thing I really commend them for is they let the draft come to them. They got pretty fucking lucky, unprecedented six quarterbacks in the top 12 and all offensive in the top 14. That was some really good luck right there.
Hmm.
Um, but I said this earlier. This is like how the Ravens draft. They let the board come to them. They let the board come to you. And really happy with that. I said I'd buy a Byron Murphy jersey, and I will once that number gets assigned. We have to wait till Thursday. He's not coming to Seattle till Thursday.
Oh gosh, man.
I know. What the hell?
They don't have like a post the Friday press conference with their
I
draft
know.
pick.
I know. Well, and I don't think he's even flown out yet.
Man, it's crazy. That's crazy. Should
But
fly him out that first. They should fly him out that night, or at least
that's
that
what you
early
should
that
do.
day.
That's what you usually do.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's up with that.
yeah. Is what it is. Is what it is. No, Byron Murphy's gonna be a really good player in Seattle. I'm glad he went. I'm glad a lot of these top defensive guys are going to the NFC.
Yeah. He's I'm excited, man. I'm buying that throwback.
Mhm.
Hoping 90. I think 90s would be a great number for him.
Yeah, really good.
That meme of you of I said you of Byron
Ripping
Murphy
off
taking
Jaron
number
Reed.
90 from Jaron Reed.
Yeah, it's
Like
a
I'm
different.
I'm genuinely really excited for the D line.
Hmm.
Leonard William and him as a nickel pairing. And then Uchenna Willis is going to be back. William Mafe continue to grow. Derek Hall, we'll see what we got there. Darrell Taylor, he's good on third downs. And then we got what's his name? Blanking, but the nose tackle we brought in. Hankins, Jaron Reed,
Hankins. Yeah.
Draymond Jones, we'll see what we do with him. I'd like to keep him. I think he can be useful. I
Hmm.
think all three of Mike McDonald, Adam Dirty, and Justin Hill or Hines uh will use him much better than the
Hmm.
last idiotic coaching staff.
Defensive coaches didn't know what they were doing.
They didn't. And Draymond Jones said it himself. He's like, yeah, they were using me wrong. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh. But there was this interesting thing. Micah Parsons was on I forget what. I think it was maybe I think it was Bleacher Report. They had him on,
Yeah.
and he was like pretty effusive of on Dirty and saying he's going to use Byron Murphy really good and talking
Hmm.
all that. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's good.
I'm really excited for him. I think
Yeah.
we haven't had a D lineman like that probably since Cortez Kennedy.
Man, Michael Bennett. No Michael Bennett
Michael
love.
Bennett's the end. My different role, different role.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Bennett would do three tech on a pass rushing down. We have a much better history of ends than defensive tackles.
That's fair. Okay. That's fair.
That's
That's
what I'm
fair.
saying.
Okay. Okay.
Although
No
we do
Brandon
have the
Aybain.
GOAT defensive tackle in our history,
Who's that?
Cortez Kennedy. Rest in peace.
I mean, I don't want to speak ill of the deceased, but I don't know about the goat.
Yeah, that's a pretty stiff competition. I won't
Yeah.
lie. I won't lie. I think
Um.
he's a top 10 defensive tackle of
Oh,
all time.
easily top 10. Easily top 10.
But then you're going up against guys like Warren Sapp, Joe Green,
Shoot, Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald. Yeah, you can probably put him up there. Anyone on the Fearsome Foursome.
Hmm.
I I think what's his name? He was more of an end though, the best one. Deacon Jones. He was an
Hmm.
end, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Julius Randle. Not
Julius
Julius
Randle,
Randle. No, who's John Randall?
John
Sorry,
Randall, John
I got NBA
Randall.
playoffs in
What
my mind.
about Reggie White's? Do you call him an end or a tackle? That's a
Reggie
close one.
White's an end.
Yeah,
Reggie White's an end.
Reggie White, for how big he was, could really move.
Yeah.
Minister of Defense is such a cool nickname, man. That's a great
Yeah.
nickname.
Yeah. There's probably more. There's probably more.
Yeah, there's
But
more, but let's not get too sidetracked because we're up.
yeah,
We're about to get up to a really great pick in Dallas Turner.
that's
I'm
right.
kidding.
No, I mean, no, I think that is a good
Really
pick,
good
honestly,
pick.
at this pick.
When
Yeah.
when Dallas Turner was still there, though, I was like, holy shit, we might take him instead of Byron Murphy. I was
Hmm.
like, holy shit, we're picking between them. That's a good problem to have. There's your
Yep.
Daniil Hunter replacement
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
a
And
better scheme
nice.
fit.
Yeah, yeah, no, he'll be able to be because they've got the 3-4. Obviously,
Hmm
they got the Flores defense there, so he's gonna be a great fit there. Um, no, I think that's I mean, shoot, from just like a pure raw physical talent standpoint, best edge rusher in the class. I prefer Latu based on the technical elements of the
Yes,
game,
yes.
but if Turner's able to put together and develop, nothing's stopping him from
Yeah.
being the best.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they're definitely, two sides of a coin.
yep, exactly, exactly.
As the way my philosophy, I'd take Turner, even though I love Latu. I like having a ball of clay.
That's fair. That's fair. Well,
Latu's
speaking
going to
of
be
balls of
great
clay,
though. Okay,
speaking of balls of clay,
but floor is yours, big dog.
my guy, and by the way, it's Amarius. I learned today, or last night, I should say.
Whoa.
Amarius. We've been saying it wrong this whole time, and I feel terrible. Amarius. That's my apologies. It's on me. Amarius Mims. Gosh, when I was on a podcast when this was happening, and I was like, if it's not either Amarius Mims or Johnny Newton, I'm not going to be a fan. And obviously, there's some nuance to that. Where it's like, would I have been mad if it was Verse or if it was Fautanu? Would I have been mad? No. But those were the only two guys where I'd be like, I would be happy if they're the pick here. The whole time and the whole week leading up to the draft, my prediction was they were going to end up picking Amarius Mims. I was right. Gosh, I'm excited about this one, man, because so many things about this pick got fit perfectly in line with what they like in offensive tackles. The size, obviously, for one,
All your tackles are ginormous.
but also where I like that they went away from what they normally do is he's got like a 9.69 RAS when
Yeah, he can
Orlando
actually
Brown and Trent
move.
Brown
He
are in
can
like the
actually
threes and
move.
fours.
I
Like
th I
he's an athlete. And you look at the best tackles in the NFL nowadays, they're athletes. Don't get me, this is not to say like Orlando Brown or Trent Brown are bad tackles at all. They're definitely not. But Lane Johnson is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. He's an athlete. Jordan Mailata, still very young. Too early to say he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, but he's multiple All Pro seasons under his belt now. He's an athlete. Those are the types of guys, those are the types of picks that I think the offensive line, or the Bengals offensive line, I should say, need to be prioritizing more. And that's why I was very against Jason. One of the reasons I should say I was very against JC Latham and very
mm,
for Amarius Mims throughout this
mm.
entire process. So very, very happy that Mims ended up being there for him. I think they nailed the pick, honestly. He was
That
right
picture
there.
of him holding the hot dog was really good.
Yeah. What did I send it to you? It was
You
the
did.
Hulk holding the
Yep.
taco and Marius Mims holding the hot dog. It's the same picture.
Say, of course, multiple shitty Midwestern cities have their own Coney dog.
Hmm.
So stupid.
But only one has the Skyline chili coney
Yeah,
dog.
that makes it fucking worse.
Skyline chili is delicious. I will not hear any arguments on this one.
It's weird. I'll say Skyline Chili's weird.
I love Skyline chili, man.
That is the Bengal in you talking.
It
Okay.
probably is, but I don't care. I think it tastes good.
Um, yeah, you can definitely see the philosophy of what they have in their tackles, in that Joe Burrow is so quick to process that you want the biggest guy with the longest arms that you can just keep him out of the way for the short time.
Mhm.
And they're getting both that and someone who can actually move now, which is
Mhm.
kind of getting your cake and eating it too. So it's really exciting times for them.
Yeah, I was stoked with this pick. And you know, you could a lot of Bengals fans online, and I will just say Bengals fan base, one of the more Debbie Downer fan bases out there, I feel like. I will give us credit. A lot of them know ball. On the other hand, though, some of them are just way too negative about anything. Yes, he only has 8 career college starts. Is that a red flag? Yes.
Sure.
However, you also want to look at why he only has 8 career college starts. He sat behind Georgia offensive linemen that were draft picks in the past few years. We talk about this all the time. Hey, there's these guys, and as soon as they don't start right away, they enter the portal. What did Marius Mims do? He sat by, he developed, he learned the ropes. He was a former 5-star. If he wanted to transfer somewhere, he could have. CJ Stroud was on the Bleacher Report podcast saying he was trying to get him to Ohio State. But he sat by, he learned the ropes, ended up being obviously a first round pick, so it worked out
That's the
for
one I
him.
was talking about. It was the Bleacher Report podcast was the one
Yep.
with Micah Parsons.
Yep. Um, So A, sat by and developed instead of transferring the first chance. It's a good character
Character.
thing, in my
Hmm.
opinion. And we'll talk about character with another Bengals draft pick. We'll get to that. The injury, yes, the injury happened, had tightrope surgery, ended up re-aggravating it in the SEC championship game. Had to leave that game and then ended up hurting his hamstring at the combine. Now I did some research on this though. Apparently those three, like in succession having to have the tightrope surgery, re-aggravation, hamstring injury, very often do go hand in hand. Like
Look
it's
at this
repeated.
medical expert here.
It's repeated. It's repeated. So when I hear that, and then apparently once the hamstring injury comes and passes, no issues. So I
Mm.
don't think he's going to be injury prone. I don't think injury prone is a label that I'm putting on Amarius Mims. I wouldn't put raw as a label I'd put on Amarius Mims either because technically he is very sound.
Hmm.
The
He was just
label I would put on him,
inexperienced.
that's right. That's right. That's the biggest red flag with him is inexperience.
That's the one thing about the injuries things. That's the one, you maybe worry about him being a glass cannon because you've seen that happen with a lot of these athletic freaks is they just
That's
can't
true.
stay healthy.
Yeah.
They can be a glass cannon.
Hmm.
Um, Funny you say that about Bengals Twitter. What I always notice about Seahawks Twitter is they divide into two incredibly adamant camps.
Oh no, we've had that too. You remember the Chase and Sewell days?
Well, we get into camps about stupid things. That one makes sense.
Hmm.
Jalen Carter versus not Jalen Carter, like the Geno Smith versus non-Geno Smith stuff, and people getting so passionate about Geno Smith, like defending Geno Smith. It's like, no, he's a journeyman quarterback. Come on,
All
guys.
right. Honest
But
question. Actually, I was thinking about this earlier
but
in the
let
week.
me just finish this
Oh,
thought
sorry.
though.
Go ahead.
There's
Yeah.
this really funny meme of like Michael Jackson lowering the gun, and it's like Seahawks Twitter uniting when the Seahawks draft Byron Murphy. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Honest question. I thought about this earlier tonight. It was right after I texted you that I thought the Cardinals and Rams were both having good drafts. Um, Rank the quarterbacks in the NFC West, the four starters.
Ooh, that's tough. Okay, so I'm gonna go just what we saw in the last year, what we saw last year. Because out
Okay.
of potential, I'd put Kyler first because I've always liked
Yes.
Kyler.
I think
From
that's
what we saw last year, I think you got to go Purdy, Stafford, Geno, Kyler because Kyler just didn't play.
fair. That's fair. If you were just, I don't even necessarily say if I'd say body of work going into 2024, how would you rank them?
Kyler, Stafford, Purdy, Geno.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. So my follow-up question is having the worst starting quarterback in the division, what's the plan there? How do you win the division with the worst starting quarterback? Because
Take
I don't
Spencer
know.
Rattler.
I like where your head's at because that was gonna be my third
Take
question.
him at 102. Take him at 102 or even
I think
trade
it's
up
a
with the
chance. I
Panthers.
think if they were trying to trade up for Penix, there's no way they're not trying to
I
at least
heard
think
that was
about it.
fake. I
Was
heard
it
that was
fake?
fake,
Oh
yeah.
gosh. Oh gosh. I
Multiple
thought it was
team the
legit.
Raiders said it was fake too.
Yeah. Probably in the
I
Broncos.
think there's shred of truth to it though, with how
I don't
close
know if they
Rob.
were trying to trade up into the top 10, but I think if Penix got to 13 or 14, I
I think they
think,
would have picked him if he was at 16.
yeah. I think if he was at 13, the Raiders probably would have picked him. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so
I think Vikings could have picked him ahead of JJ,
it's very possible.
from what I heard.
Which, yeah. Oh, also too, and I mentioned this in the group chat. We'll get to Jared first and keep going through the first round before we get too sidetracked podcast here. But it's funny that with all the speculation about like, oh, the quarterbacks, like where are they going to land? What's the carousel going to turn out? other than Mike to the Falcons, it was pretty chalky for what
Oh
most
yeah,
people expected.
absolutely.
Caleb to the Bears, Jaden to Washington, Drake to New England,
Vikings
JJ to
JJ.
Minnesota, Beau to Denver.
Hmm.
If you told me, like I said, if you told me those were their five landing spots in February, I would probably not believe it because it's just too chalky. And these things rarely work out that
Oh
chalky.
yeah. The top of the draft had like very little trades, which is
Mhm.
surprising.
Yeah, the
It
first
was
trade
interesting.
wasn't until 10 and
10,
11, which was only the,
unless you count number one.
or yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
A lot of sticking and picking though. A lot of sticking and picking.
Yep. Yep. Let's get on with the first round here. Jared Verse going to the
Great
Rams.
pick. Sucks.
Yep.
Hate it.
Yep. Rams just have talent, man. They had a very I've liked the Rams draft a lot so
I've
far. Like,
liked
yeah, you
parts
could
of it.
say
I
like
haven't liked other
Corum.
parts of it. Blake Corum was a
I
weird pick, man.
like Corum was a weird pick. I will say, like Cam Kinchin's at 100. I know we didn't love him. I think that's fine. That's
It's
fine
decent
value.
value. Yeah, they always have their safeties play well anyways. Although maybe no Raheem Morris anymore. No
Yeah,
Aaron
but
Donald. That defense gonna look different.
yeah, yeah, but
Got a lot
it
of
is
coaches' jobs.
that is true. That is true. Troy Fautanu going to
Great
Washington.
value. Great
Medical
value.
red flags, but no, if
He's
he
going to
stays healthy,
Steelers.
I
He
think he's
said
good.
going to Washington.
Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry. Going to Washington. I saw Washington there. From
I think
Washington
the
to
Steelers are
Pittsburgh.
having a great draft. I think
They
the
are
Steelers are having a really good draft.
Steelers are
It's a
killing it.
really
I'm not
good
gonna lie.
draft, man. I hate it.
The Steelers are killing it. I'm not even gonna lie. Chop Robinson, one of your
Electric
guys, going to
speed.
Miami.
They like their speed.
They kind of got a log jam at edge rusher in Miami right now.
They do.
So they got Jalen Phillips, they got
Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb, they signed Shaq Barrett, who's obviously older, but still will probably contribute. Now Chop Robinson. Like, not to say obviously they could just be going with the Philly model, can never have too many good pass rushers, and guys are gonna get hurt. It's good to have
And that's a
depth.
very true model.
Yeah.
You
At the
stack those
same
pass
time,
rushers.
a little bit of a log jam for a team that has needs elsewhere, but that's all right. Quinyon going to the
The
Eagles. What a value.
perfect
That's
Fangio
perfect.
quarterback.
Yep.
Perfect Fangio quarterback.
Yep.
He could be rookie of the year, I think. That's a
I
safe
th
bet.
There's a very good. I think that's a very good chance. He's gonna be really really good there. And there's so much talk about the Eagles having to trade up to like 12 to get him, and they stuck at 22, and they got the best corner in the draft. He was a blue chipper on our consensus board, so
Yeah.
crazy
Like I
stuff.
said earlier, him or Murphy were my top defenders.
Yep. Yep. Brian Thomas going to Jacksonville.
Got a weapon.
Yeah. And you know what? I wasn't a huge Brian Thomas fan, but I think so many people were mocking him to the Jags at 17. The fact they're able to trade back, get more picks, and still get Brian Thomas. If they
We
were
got
already going
him
to take him
at
at 17
Baton. We
anyways,
came
like
all the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
that was so funny. Oh man, what was the or the exact questions? Like, he's talking to his mom. How far has your family come? We came from Baton Rouge.
What a sweet lady. She doesn't
She's
deserve the
so
hate.
nice. Honestly, I'm
She
not
just misunderstood.
not hating. It's just funny.
It
It's
is
just
funny.
funny.
It
It's
is
kind of
funny.
like it's like a Drax moment,
It is.
where it's just like you take it
That's
too
perfect.
literally.
That's perfect. They're
Oh, it was
called
so
harbulary batteries. That was so funny. Look at that.
uh
Look at that journey of that pick though. Cleveland, Houston, Minnesota, Jacksonville.
yeah. Yeah. When we get deeper into like round 2 and 3, you're gonna say, actually, if you get into like round 6 and 7, because the draft tracker does already have those picks plugged in, it gets
They're
kind of
fun.
crazy.
They're fun. I
Yeah.
love.
Um, Daniel can't be with us, but Detroit
What a pick.
jumping up, snagging him from Green Bay, getting what many people do consider. I didn't consider him CB1, but many people did. Great pickup here for
What a
Detroit.
pick.
Perfect meat, like a supreme value. A lot of people thought he was going to go top 15, 16. Um, yeah, no, this is excellent. And you steal him from Green Bay, which if you're
Hmm.
Detroit, it's always a nice little bonus too. Fantastic pick. Fantastic pick. Perfect trade up. Love it. Love it. No other
Not a 12-year
comments.
old trade. Jordan
Not a
Morgan was a head scratcher. I was surprised there.
Yeah, I was too. I was too. I thought, I mean, if you're going to go with a offensive lineman that, does have versatility to play inside or outside, there's another guy that went
Hmm.
one pick
I think
later
they
that
see
would have made
Jordan
a lot of
Morgan's a tackle
sense.
though. I think they see him as a tackle.
Yeah, I think he's gonna end up
They
getting
like short
Charlotte.
tackles there.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But he's
Zach
gonna get
Tom.
they do like Zach Tom. And Zach Tom's a good player to be fair. And I think Jordan Morgan's a good player, but yeah, and 25 is a little bit rich for me in my opinion.
I agree. They
Especially
need
because
to
you still
tackle
didn't need
that.
it. You just had need a corner too, and you let Cooper DeJean and Kool-Aid McKinstry and Nate Wiggins at the time. They were still there, and they just kind of let it happen. Um, Graham Barton, immediate,
Good
or I
pick.
should say the Bucks,
Really good
immediate
pick.
beneficiaries. Yeah.
Rightfully the first center off the board.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Um, really good. I mean, yeah, good value there for Tampa. I know a lot of people. I mean, there's some people like a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit rich had him going 16 to Seattle, but I think I mean if Burt Murphy was gone, there's a good chance of that potentially.
What I was
Get him
told
here
was
26.
trade down for Cooper DeJean is what they were going to do.
Hmm, yeah. And if you get him in trade down, nothing wrong with that.
Packers or Eagles?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know how many picks the Seahawks have tomorrow by chance?
6.
Six? Okay. So they'll have a little bit more action tomorrow
They
then. That's
wanted
good.
that second rounder. That's what they wanted.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to get that though.
Darius Robinson.
I've never been the biggest fan personally.
No, not me neither.
And they
This is
run
a
an
head
even
scratcher for
front too.
Arizona.
So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's a head scratcher for Arizona, to be honest with you.
at real we're all saying he was going to the Lions. That's probably
Yeah,
smoke.
yeah, yeah. Hey, it was good smoke. It was good smoke.
It
If
worked.
Terry on Arnold wasn't
I
there,
think the Seahawks were smoke screening with the corner stuff though, with the Terry on and the Q Mitchell. I think they were doing smoke there.
it worked. Definitely worked. Um, as far as Darius in Arizona, sure. I don't know. Not a huge fan of that one, but
He's not LJ Collier, you know.
yeah, that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade right there. Um, Xavier Worthy going to the Chiefs.
I said worthy to the Chiefs for a
It
long
honestly,
time.
it honestly, it felt too obvious to the point where it's like they're not going to pick him. It's too obvious. And here you go, Xavier Worthy. You are a Kansas City Chief. Um, I'm not a huge Worthy fan. I've made that pretty clear. At the same time, if he's going to be successful anywhere, it's going to be Kansas City. Like that's a perfect fit for him. Um,
He's fast. And
he's
they want that speed. 119 miles per hour, baby.
119 miles per hour. Let's go.
That's a lot of speed
Um,
on that field though next year.
yeah,
They've been
yeah,
missing it since Tyreek, but the thing is Tyreek probably weighs 40 pounds more than me, 20 pounds, but still quite a
yeah.
lot.
No,
He weighs a lot
Xavier,
more than him.
yeah, Xavier
That's
Worthy's a stick, but he's a stick that can
runs
run really
fast.
fast.
Yeah.
As long as
Um,
he's
I just always think of the video of Big X the plug running routes and it's Xavier Worthy in the Sugar Bowl.
yeah,
I've had infinite fun of making fun of those two receivers.
yeah. Tyler Guyton to the
Mm,
Cowboys. This is one I know a lot of people are mocking. I'm not a
it's fine.
fan, but whatever. At 29, sure. The second round player, but at 29, most of the time you're gonna be getting second round caliber player anyways. So not a big deal. Nate Wiggins to the
Finally getting some better corner play.
yeah, yeah. Although I would have probably taken you could say they should have taken DeGene. That probably would have been a little redundant with Kyle Hamilton already there
I
because
think
they're
they
probably gonna
wanted
play some
a
more
true
roles.
man corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's fine. I don't know.
That's a athletic secondary, man.
That is an athletic secondary. The size, if I'm Baltimore, the size scares me a little bit. Well, I'm not Baltimore. I am a little
He's gonna play
God.
field corner, so he's not gonna have to tackle much.
That is true. That is true. Just imagine him going one on one with Chase or Pickens, though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Higgins is getting traded for a fourth rounder.
No, I said Pickens.
Oh yeah, Pickens.
Yeah, no, I mean, I because there's the video, you know how obviously Pickens always like just absolutely decleats guys on block. Be hard with. Oh, dang it! Did I disconnect again? Hold
Just
on.
for a little bit. I heard what you're saying though.
Okay, I think I'm back. All right.
I heard.
Um, yeah. Pickens when he sees Nate Wiggins lined up
Can he
against him,
be
it's a run block.
AFC North corner? You know, can he play the NFC
That's
North AFC North run game? That's the question.
yeah. guess we'll see. Ricky Pearsall, go off, King. I know
I
you're
laughed. I laughed.
uh,
I laughed pretty hard.
and I like Ricky Pearsall too, but at
Not as a
31,
first rounder.
yeah, at 31, that's rich, man. That's rich. Um, Same with the Xavier Legette. Although the Panthers are so desperate for anything, honestly, sure. They moved up one spot to get him, sure. I mean, I think they probably could have just stuck and picked. I don't think the Bills were going to take Xavier Legette. If they were going to take him, they wouldn't have traded. So,
Maybe another team was trying to take him.
yeah, maybe. But yeah,
I don't think he's a
sure.
team that you got to worry that much for. Maybe one of the fifth here. Who knows? But I like him. I like him not as a first rounder.
Yeah, kind of similar picks there at the end, actually.
Yep.
So there you go. That was night one. We'll get into round two
It was a
here.
fun first round. I had a great
It
time.
was a very fun first round. It was a very fun first round. And that run on receivers continued into night
Continued.
two. Keon Coleman and
Gonna
Ladd
be a good.
McConkey right here up
He's
top.
what Josh Allen needs.
Yeah, I mean, if Keon Coleman's, I said this to Xavier Worthy, like if he's going to be successful anywhere, it's Kansas City. Keon Coleman, Buffalo's a really good fit too. Um, and then Ladd McConkey. I text you this. Ladd McConkey, if Harbaugh doesn't value receivers, but this is the type of receiver he would value. Um,
Oh yeah.
there you go. Ladd
I was like, of
McConkey.
course that happened.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay. Poor. I forget who announced it, but poor guy really botched Rook Aroro's name.
oh yeah, no one stood a chance on that
Oh
one.
yeah. You were setting him
The
up
only
for
way, the
failure.
only way, the only way anyone was going to pronounce that pick properly was if he was a first round pick and Roger announced it because he studies these players' names in the lead up. Like
He
he has
added
the
like an extra
pronunciation down.
Oro. I think he said Rook Aroro. Is the
Row,
like
row,
the
row,
or
row.
Haroro. I think is what he said.
Oh gosh, I have
It
to
was
go back
bad.
and watch it. That's brutal. That's brutal. Taking him over Johnny Newton is certainly a choice. The
Yeah.
commies definitely benefit. The commies had a great draft, by the way. I will say that. I'll say that. I thought the Commanders had a great draft. But we'll talk about that as we kind of go through more picks. But I like Rook. I like Rook. That's a good pick.
I would
But
have
the
taken Newton
fact
over
that
him,
Newton
but
was
I
still
do
on the
like
board,
Rook.
yeah. Um, Jalen Polk,
That I was shocked he went 37. That was
yeah.
surprising. Good
Yep.
for him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Trayvondre, as the announcer said,
Trayvon Sweat.
going
Yeah, that's right.
38.
Yeah.
Higher than I thought. That's their first pick
Yep.
too. Oh,
Yep.
second.
Yeah, yeah. They got JC Latham and Tavondre
That's a
Sweat.
lot of weight, man.
That's a lot of weight. That's some big boys they're adding to the room there. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. I like Tavondre Sweat. Don't get me wrong. As a player, he's really good, but
Off-field issues.
that's a little high for me. That's a little high given, what you'd figure. And maybe the NFL didn't care about
Told
the
you to be a
DUI.
top 50 pick.
Guess the
He was
NFL
top
didn't
40.
care about the DUI at the
No.
end of the day. Um, Braden
Good
Fisk,
pick, man.
him right
Good
off
pick.
down.
God damn
Yeah.
it.
The McVay and Les Snead were clearly just watching the ACC championship, and they were like, "What if we got one of those guys?" And then pick 39 comes up. Yo, remember that ACC championship we were watching back in December? What if we just got both
I
those
bet you they would have
guys?
taken Byron Murphy. He was there though.
Oh, probably, but
I hope he's more Greg Gaines than Aaron Donald.
yeah, he's not gonna be Aaron Donald because no one is, but
No.
that's a good value there for the Rams.
Cooper DeJean at 40. That's how you fix your
Eagles
secondary. That's how
Eagles
you
just
fix your
loading
secondary.
up. Yeah, no, that's a good pick there, man. That's
I was thinking, it was like, man, we could have been enraged for a trade up there to snag him with how much they liked him.
could
And
have
John
been.
Schneider likes his second round trade ups. It's like, damn.
Yep, yep. The run on corners here
Kool-Aid, good value
started.
there. 41.
Kool-Aid. Yep, Kool-Aid, great value at 41.
Lassiter, I was never
That's
the
nice.
biggest fan of.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably
Max
take a Melton
Melton
over
went
him.
higher than people
Hmm.
thought he would, but we both liked him.
Yep. I think it was actually this right around. I think in our final mock, I think
Well,
I
we put
had
him
the
higher
Raiders picking
than
him.
most would, though. That's the thing.
That's true. I saw a lot of people in the third, and obviously we had him around. we had him more as a second round guy, and that's where he ended up. So there you
Good
go.
play.
Um,
JPJ rightfully announced as a guard by the announcer. They listed him as guard because that's what he is.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, the Raiders loaded up on the interior offensive line today, as they very well easily could have done yesterday too, but they didn't. That's okay because they got Brock Bowers. Yeah, they needed help on the offensive line big time. So,
Yep. Edge
um,
Cooper.
this one was pretty predictable. I know for weeks people were saying the Packers liked Edge Cooper. The only question is if he would be there for him, and obviously he was. They make the predictable pick. Um, yeah, they need interior linebacker help or inside linebacker help. I think he was the
I'll
first
trade for
one.
Quay Walker.
Yeah, pretty sure he was the first
He
one.
was, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I
yeah,
was
there
watching
you
that
go.
position like a hawk, and I got just fucking missed it.
Mhm.
Jonathan Brooks,
Yeah.
first RB.
Yep. First RB there. I guess, yeah, a
Ortiz
lot of
has
people.
continued to be a sweet spot for running backs.
Hmm. He did not fall to the Cowboys at 56 as many people predicted.
Hmm
Um,
Original Seahawks pick. They could have had Tyler Newman, man. Oh, that hurts.
mhm. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Because you got Leonard Williams, who's also pretty good.
Mason Smith.
Mason Smith, yeah, I know the Bengals liked him a lot. I was not a big fan. We had him in like the fourth round on the horizontal board.
I was never a big fan
Um,
either.
I
He
like,
just never reached his potential.
mhm. Yep. And Chris Jenkins was, in my opinion, a lot better. And look at that, the Bengals went ahead and picked the better defense tackle. No, I really like that pick. I was a big fan of this one when it came up. I literally was like, this has to be a Michigan player, either Chris Jenkins or Roman Wilson. I was like, it's gotta be one of those two.
Great pick.
And I was right
That's
on
your
one of
that's
them.
your that's your replacement.
Yep. Yeah, he's awesome against the run. He's got the tools to be a great pass rusher. Still working on that.
A little
Um,
heavy, a little slow, but he's great in the
yeah.
run.
Yeah. So, um, of
He'll
course we
develop.
doubled.
He'll develop.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And we got a good D-line coach, so I'm not afraid of that. And he doesn't have to start right away either. It's the nice thing. You know, you can kind of become a part of that three-man rotation with Sheldon Rankins and BJ Hill. And then Cook once those guys move on.
Hmm
And then
Sustainability.
yep, and they doubled down on defense tackle, which I
They
wasn't
did. I was
necessarily a
surprised
fan
at that.
of, but we'll
You weren't a
talk
big
about that.
fan of?
I don't mind doubling down on defense tackle. I just not a McKinley Jackson
That's
guy.
fair. He's a tub of goo. He's a tub of
Yeah.
goo. That's true nose.
Mike Samersill. Here we
He's
go.
gonna be a good NFL
True
player.
slot corner.
He's
Yeah.
gonna be used well by Dan Quinn
Yeah.
and their
Yeah.
DC. He was their DB
I
coach in the
was a little
Cowboys.
surprised by this one, not because I don't think Mike Samersill's a good player. He is. But they just drafted Quan Martin last year,
Hmm
also in the second round to be their starting slot. So
New regime.
got to. Yeah. I wonder if Quan Martin's gonna be available for be a trade now, or they might just move him back to safety, which way he played
That's
more
what
in
I was
Maryland.
thinking.
So, can do multiple things there. We'll see. Um, Zach Frazier, really good
At
value here for the
51,
Steelers. That's great
man.
value. Again, Steelers are having an excellent draft. I'm not even gonna lie.
Him and Fatanu, that's a nasty old line. Broderick Jones. Who else they got on there?
Um, Tanu, Broderick Jones. Oh, they got Siamala, Isaac Siamala from
Hmm
the Eagles last year.
They could add another guard,
Oh, James
honestly.
Daniels. James Daniels. It's a good
Solid.
O. That's a very good O line. They've done a good job rebuilding that room. I don't have to start Dan Moore and Mason Cole anymore. Your favorite player in the entire draft, AD Mitchell, went 52.
I feel a little vindicted on this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Hate to see my boy AR throw to him.
I think you know what? I think that'll be. I think he does have potential.
He's just got to use it. He's got to put it
Yeah,
together.
yeah. I think he's entering a good wide receiver room that he doesn't have to be an alpha the way he would probably had to be in like
You know
Kansas
what's funny?
City.
They already have Alec Pierce. You already have AD Mitchell at home
Yeah, but
without diabetes. At diabetes, Mitchell.
I dive. Jeez, man. Um, But yeah,
Yeah,
there
this
you
is an
go.
anti-diabetes podcast. We don't like you people.
Go home. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Just kidding. Benson,
Um,
not. Ooh, we liked him. We liked him.
we liked him a lot. I think we
They
had him
needed
as
a
a
tight
second
end. Good
rounder.
pickup. He's gonna have a good year next year.
Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure we had him as a second rounder on the
We
board.
should have. I would have had him as a second rounder.
Uh, correct. Correct. Yep. Second rounder on the horizontal board.
Second tight
Um,
end.
yes, overall.
Good.
Yep. By the way, remaining second round. So all the first round grades are gone now. Remaining guys with round two grades though. Spencer Rattler, Troy Franklin, Bo Limmer, Malik Mustafa. We missed on the safeties bad. Malik Mustafa, Jaden Hicks, Dadrian Taylor,
Safeties
Demerson.
hardly went.
Yeah, yeah, it was a tough draft for the safeties. Oh, forgot to X out Cam Kinchins there at the end. Um,
I'm on for Troy Franklin's absolute free fall. It's been pretty funny trolling Oregon people on Twitter about it.
worth the
That
fun
all
of
three
it.
of the receivers went before Troy.
Troy Franklin's a really good fun on day three though. Whoever gets him, that's a really good value. I was one if the Bengals were going to double up at a position, I texted this out. I know I was if they were going to double up on position, I was hoping they were going to pick Troy Franklin at 97. Um, they did double up on position, just not the one I thought. But again, we'll get talk more about that later. Ben Sinnott at 53 though, really good pick for the commies. You know, that's their tight end in the future. Don't need to rely on
He's gonna be
Zach
great for
Ertz.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be a really good player. Like I said, Commanders having a really solid draft. Um, Michael Hall Jr. Good pick for the Browns. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, keeping
This
him
right
home.
around. This is one I mocked a few times too. This one makes a lot of sense for him. Like you said, keeping him home. The low moving costs is definitely a thing. But also too, I mean, just kind of fits their need. They need a little bit more interior pass rush. They need something to take a little bit of pressure off of Myles Garrett. This will do that.
hmm
Um,
And he's a great fit for. He's a 4-3-3 technique. It's a
mhm.
perfect fit.
Yep,
Not many
exactly.
teams are running true 4-3s with the 3 and a 1, right? Everything you're seeing right now is you're seeing that base 3-4, and then you get that reduced over G, with the 2Y in the nose, right?
Hmm.
That's what you're seeing a lot in the Seahawks gonna be running because it's working quite well. But not too many teams are running that true 4-3. You're seeing that. Let's see here. You're seeing it. We're gonna see it in Washington. You're seeing it in Dallas. You're seeing it in Cleveland and 49ers and Texans.
Hmm.
Honestly, those are all pretty good defenses.
Yeah. Yeah, they're working. They're working where they're used. They're working where they're used. Um, let's see. Patrick Paul to Miami. Here we go.
Long arms.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
I think they're going to regret taking him over Roger.
yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, especially Miami where those guys need to be able to move really good. I think Roger
hmm
probably would have been a good fit
They had the
there.
fastest tackle in the draft, man.
Yeah. Marshawn Nealand. I know that's a guy we liked.
Hey,
Get it back to the second. That's all
It's
value.
it's it's what's good about that. I like this fit a lot because you're going to be rushing opposite of Micah Parsons. He's very freaky but low raw,
Hmm.
and uh, I think he'll get a lot of good opportunities to really expose himself when he's getting a lot of one-on-ones.
Hmm. Not the way Juju Smith-Schuster does either.
Wait, what do you say? Expose
You-
himself?
yeah, as you said, he's supposed himself.
Oh my God!
Um, Chris Braswell. Here we go. Back a little mini edge run here. Chris Braswell, no
I was
guy,
never a
neither of us
fan.
were that.
I wouldn't have
Yeah.
taken him in a second.
Yeah, I know the Bucks needed edge rush help, and actually
I
at
think
the time, Chris
they got
Braswell,
sniped bigly here.
yeah, yeah, at the time, Chris Braswell was our highest rated guy, but also like we had a round three grade on him at
I wouldn't have. I
57.
guess I would have
Yeah,
too. Yeah, I was just never a fan.
yeah, me neither, me
Javon
neither.
Bullard, good pickup, good
Yeah, I like
safety.
Javon Bullard a lot. Yeah, that's it's Packers kind of had their needs and they kind of took them down.
Packers had a Packers
Again,
draft. Packers had
Yeah,
a
I know
practice
we
test.
didn't love the Jordan Morgan pick, but I think they made up for it a lot with the Edgerrin Cooper and Javon Bullard picks here.
Hmm.
They had a couple more that we'll talk about in round three too that were solid. Marshawn Lloyd, I know is one of them. Is there Town Hopper? Yeah, we'll talk about that one. Blake Fisher. I like Blake Fisher a lot. This is a good pick
Hmm.
for
Notre Dame
Houston.
tackle.
My biggest question was if the Texans really need offensive line help right now, but obviously you can never have too much depth there. Um, Shoot, he could step in right away and probably outplay Titus Howard. So, um, in that sense, yeah, I like this pickup. At 59, good value. I would have been happy with him in the 40s. So at 59, this is a good pickup here. Cole Bishop
That's a McDermott safety.
as McDermott safety. Yeah, and they need safeties because they lost two of them. Did they bring anyone? Oh yeah, they brought in Mike Edwards from the Chiefs. That's right. I was trying to remember if they signed a safety in free agency. So they lost two, brought in Mike Edwards, and now drafted Cole Bishop. So okay, I guess there's the in and out there. Yeah, yeah, it's a good pick. I like Cole Bishop. Right around here, good value. Right around where he probably should have been picked.
Speaking of good value, though, Ennis Rakestraw, 61. They're tackling that
Yeah.
corner position.
One
They're
of my
tackling it.
guys. One of my guys. Those were their only two picks, but I mean, shoot, man, that corner room gets transformed overnight, and it's
Hmm.
if these guys both hit, that's becomes a strength right off the bat. So
Oh
really
yeah,
good pickup there. Roger Rosengarten going to
great fit.
Baltimore.
Great fit.
Yeah, you need someone who can get out and run out in front of your running back. I mean quarterback. I know what I said. Uh then yeah, I mean, no, I mean, yeah, I get offensive lineman who can move in Baltimore, and he can definitely do that. So that's a really good fit, honestly. I mean, I think Kingsley also would have made it a little bit more, would have made sense here. And I also think Kingsley's kind of like he's got a much lower floor, but also I think he's got a higher ceiling.
Yep.
Roger feels safe, which is funny. I feel like the Ravens don't usually go safe. They kind of go with the guys with a big boom potential. I think Roger's gonna be fine. That sounds bad. I think he's gonna be a good right tackle for them.
Hmm.
I don't think he's got Pro Bowl potential though.
I agree. I agree.
He'll be fine. Kingsley, on the other hand, we'll talk with the Chiefs here in a
I
second.
think Roger could have used another year, but if he would have stayed, he probably goes to Bama, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And on the note, kind of in the opposite vein, I think there's a very real chance Kingsley is a massive bust. However, the Chiefs have shown they're really good at O-line development.
Hmm.
If he's going to be good at, it's kind of the same with Xavier Worthy. I wasn't a big Kingsley guy. I wasn't a big Xavier Worthy guy, but in both cases, it's a good chance they hit in
Why not?
KC.
Why not take Boomer bust when you have the best quarterback game?
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. So, um, at 63 too. I mean, I saw people saying talking about him as a back end of the first round guy. At that way, that's way rich for me.
That was
Back
way
of the
too much.
second, yeah, I'm totally fine with
So
that.
many tackles went today, and then the third round, and
Yep.
there's still so many great guards on the
Yep.
board. So many tackles went, and this was a
Yep.
great tackle draft, though.
Yeah. Um,
Bernardo
I'm
Green,
glad
I laughed.
I like Renardo Green, man. Not probably not 64, but I like Renardo Green.
They did a lot of reaching. It makes me think of old Seahawks drafts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solid players,
And
but reaching.
and then on to round three here. Malachi Corley,
I
my
picked.
guy.
I mocked this one. Let's
You
go.
did, you did. I love Malachi Corley, man. That's gonna be fun. Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson, three very different types of receivers, but all can add a little bit of juice to that offense. So
You
I like
forgot about
that.
Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb.
No, I didn't.
Dust off. Let's dust off Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah, see what's Mercedes Lewis doing? What's
Does he have any rings? Go ring chase.
yeah. Was Marquez Valdez Scantling's available?
Does hey, he won, didn't he have the Super Bowl winning catch with that Rasheed Rice?
No, that was Mecole Hardman.
Oh, Mecole, yeah. Um,
Mecole Hardman talking shit about the Jets. Is he a free agent or did he go back to KC?
I think it went back.
I bet he probably went back. Let's see. Did he sign for just the rest of the season? No, he's a free agent right now.
You know,
He went,
1 through 2 for both the Rams and the Cardinals, their first and second rounds were really good. I did not like their third rounds.
I think Cardinals kept it going. I Trey Benson, I would
Tip
say.
Ryman, Tip
Okay,
Ryman, and
we'll
Isaiah
get
Adams round 3.
okay.
What the
I will
fuck's up
not
with
I will
Illinois?
not justify those picks, but let's just move Trey Benson into two, and then I agree with you. Let's
Yeah,
take you at say
yeah, that's
66
fair.
is a
That's
really
fair.
good
Trey
pick.
Benson's good. He's gonna be great for him. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but
a
they had some weird picks.
they
Tip
did.
Ryman in the
Tip
third
Ryman.
round.
Yeah,
That's
Isaiah Adams at
I
71
don't
is
get
not
that
great
one. I'm
either.
really sorry, but you're gonna regret
There
not
was
taking
some
Theo Johnson.
weird even
One of my
JT
favorite names in the
Sanders. I'd even
draft.
take JT Sanders over
One of the
Isaiah
one of the,
Adams.
one of my favorite names in the draft. What was it? The tackle from Maryland.
Oh, Gottlieb.
No,
Oh no. Oh, there's Delmar Glaze.
Glaze,
Yeah,
Glazin.
Glazing. Yeah, he got that was a huge reach for the
Yeah,
Raiders.
I like that one.
Yeah, not a fan there.
Trey Benson, that's the guy we like.
Let's see. Brandon Coleman. Yeah, we're starting to get into some. So there were some
Hayden
weird round
Wallace
three
was the
picks.
first guy not on our board.
Yep. Uh, was Brandon Coleman on our board?
Actually, I don't think he was.
Wow. No, Brandon Coleman wasn't either. I'm a
We didn't
liar.
go too deep though. That's the thing.
That's true. Yeah, we only went through like the top 120 or so guys. So yeah, Brandon Coleman wasn't on there either. So that's on me. That's my bad.
Junior Colson, right team, wrong round. I
Right
think
team,
everyone
wrong
knew it.
round. Yeah, but yeah, I mean that was something you've been projecting for like a month and a half now. So there you go. You nailed that.
Andrew
Andrew
Phillips
Phillips.
jumps out of the gym. You see his vert?
I
That
like
was
Andrew Phillips.
crazy.
He's a good player. There's still a lot of good corners on
Didn't
the
have a
board.
single pick in college.
Yeah, but he's a good player. He's a good player, man. I think he'll be good in New York. Um, yeah, we talked about Isaiah Adams a little bit already. That's a
That
reach.
was not a
That's a
good
reach.
pick.
Um, Trayvon Wallace. I don't know. Not with Peyton Wilson on the board.
I think a lot of teams did not have Peyton. I think this what the Trevin
No,
Wallace pick
but
tells you, Peyton Wilson wasn't on their board. I think every team that took a linebacker in the third round after Junior Colson went did not have
yeah,
Peyton Wilson on their board.
that's right. Because the Packers straight passed on him twice for
hmm
linebackers.
I know. I
Um,
was shocked. Cooper Beebe, great pickup. He's gonna be a
yeah,
lot of fun.
that's an
That's a
awesome
Cowboys
value for
lineman.
Dallas.
That's a
That's an
Cowboys
awesome value
lineman.
for Dallas. Yeah, you can plug him in at shoot anywhere in the O line. I think their biggest
Like,
need right now is center. So,
in the lead up in the third round, that was like one of the only picks I was like, dang it, we didn't get him. Because there's a lot of picks I was like, don't care, don't care.
mhm.
Braylon, they're
uh,
gonna I see them using him in that Michael Hoyt role. I think that fits him well.
yeah, yeah, I can see that. Kieran, let's go. Ivy League represent.
I'll take an Ivy League tackle. Just one smart guy.
We have fourth on him.
Jonah Ellis to the Broncos. Good spin move. That's about it.
Yeah. I don't know.
When
76
he
is,
started playing good tackles, he didn't have as much production.
yeah. Delmar Glaze, pretty big
Funny
reach
name.
there. Yeah, hilarious name. Pretty big reach there at
Oh
77
yeah,
though. Kalen Bullock, one of your
I like
guys,
him.
rangy
I like him.
safety,
He's
got
gonna be
some
great there.
speed. Yeah,
That's a one high scheme. He's good in that. That's what I was like. That's why I was like, oh, we're probably not gonna take him because we don't play any one high.
Um,
Gonçalves, friend of the pod.
Gon Gonzalez, friend of the pod. That's right. Oh man, yeah, that's
There's
right.
a
You texted Daniel and he started speaking
replied in
Portuguese in the
Portuguese.
chat. Yeah.
Honestly, there was a lot of weird picks in the third round. I wouldn't have taken Gonçalves in the third.
Jermaine Burton. It's time to talk Jermaine Burton.
We thought that both the Texans and the Colts were jumping so that they could get receivers ahead of you.
Yep. Yeah,
And they didn't.
they did not. They did not. Jermaine
Acting
Burton.
selfish.
Now, I'm gonna come out and say I like this pick a lot, actually. I like the player a lot. I've made many jokes on this podcast about his off the field issues,
Hmm.
of which
And you
there
said
are
he'd be a
many.
Steelers, and you said he'd
I
be a
said he
Steelers
was a
pick.
perfect Steeler, and he ends up being a Bengal. Gosh, man. Do I like the player? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's a good freaking football player. Like people that I trust, if you take away the off-field issues, might be wide receiver 6 or 7 in this
I
draft.
think
And
I
this is
think
a
he's
good draft for wide
I think
receivers.
he's one of the players Saban was talking about that made him quit
Oh,
slamming helmets.
100%. 100%. He definitely was one of them. Um,
I think I think I think their quarterback was too. I think Milrow was probably one of those guys too.
Melrose, yeah, I think so too. Yeah, because after the he got stuffed on 4th down, he threw his helmet. Um,
It was your
so
fucking fault. Yeah, it was a bad snap, but it was your fault too that you got stuffed. You should have
yep,
bounced that.
yep.
Also, what the fuck are you calling a 4th and 5 QB draw?
Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. But anyways, Jermaine Burton, fantastic football player. If he gets his head on straight, which is where I'll get into my next point, and the Bengals have done a good job of keeping the guys' heads on straight in the Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow era. Um, just get him in that room, get him mentored by Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor, Troy Walters, the receivers coach, who was very well respected around the league. And yeah, I'm all right with that. And I think he'll be a really freaking good football player in Cincinnati.
How much money has Joe Burrow made? Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor is Joe Burrow's puppet.
Yeah, basically. No, and I don't remember who I was talking about this with, but there are a lot of franchises where the coach is the figurehead, and a lot of
It's Joe
franchises
Burrow.
where the quarterback is the figurehead. Cincinnati is the one where Joe Burrow is very much
Hey,
the figurehead.
I'll give this to Zach Taylor. He's flexible. He adapted his scheme.
Yep. Yep. We could go team by team and be like, who's the figurehead here? Is it the quarterback or the head coach? In Miami, for example, it's McDonald. It's not Tua. It's McDonald. In Cincinnati, it's Joe Burrow. Kansas City's the one where it's like you could probably make an argument either way.
There's good
Um,
synergy there.
there's a good synergy there.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's more common that the head coach is in charge, but
Yeah. It's more common, but Cincinnati, it's like, yeah, this is Joe Burrow's team. This is Joe
it's
Burrow's
Pittsburgh,
franchise.
that's Justin Fields' team.
It's because he's him. Although he's number 2 now, so it doesn't
But you
make
gotta
sense
make
anymore.
we gotta make him jersey merch shirts right there. That's a good one. Or fake him patches.
Him as a 2 instead. So it's like it doesn't make sense.
Does he have it? Is he wearing two in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, he's wearing 2 in
Oh
Pittsburgh
my
because the
gosh.
Steelers don't issue number 1. It's not even like it's not a retired number. They just refuse to issue it.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Because they
The
didn't
Bang
want
the
there's
Bengals
no
were that way for a
individual.
long time, but then they drafted Jamar Chase and they were like, all right, you're gonna be our first number 1 in franchise history. And it's
I
worked
hate
out.
seeing 24s, 25 in Seattle right now. I think
Yeah.
they gotta retire those, man.
Yeah.
They trolled
Um,
Richard Sherman the other day, today. You see that one?
what did they do?
John Schneider, I don't know if it was before yesterday or before today, but they're standing like in a hallway in the VMAC in front of a picture of the tip. And they're like, we're getting excited for the draft. Yeah. It was like they were clearly doing that to fuck with Richard Sherman because he was all pissed on social
Was all pissed.
media.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that.
It
I
was
saw
pretty
that he was
funny.
pissed. Yeah.
And Richard
Um,
Sherman's like, oh, that's funny. Good job, guys. But I think he was probably mad on the inside.
yeah. Yeah. Shoot, who was
You know what?
I?
Fuck you for going to the Niners.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
What are you talking about?
Um, I don't even remember. I thought I was gonna say something, but then I totally blanked on it. I'll remember later. Christian Haynes, you're up. I loved this pick. I'll just say that.
I was definitely pounding the table for Peyton Wilson. I won't
Hmm.
lie. He is, he might be guard two for me. He's a really good player.
Hmm.
Um, Another Seahawks captain that they picked, another team captain, 2-year team captain, 6-year senior, 3-year starter. I think it was 4-year starter for a bad team, and he fucking buried people.
Mm,
Big dude. Can move. They said that they identified him as a target that they really wanted in September. So hats off to them. They were
wow.
patient. They waited. They addressed two huge positions of needs with really good players, and you really got to appreciate that. I think he's a plug and play starter. He's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love Christian Haynes. I fell in love with him at the Senior Bowl when he got into
Oh,
that spat with it was Jordan Jefferson, the one-on-one drills. Like he got into like the shoving match after the one-on-one, which he won, by the way. And Jordan Jefferson like ripped his helmet off and like threw it at him. Um, and in the huddle while he's walking back, he was just looking back and he was like, "Find Jesus."
that was awesome.
I was like,
There's a
that's a guy that I like right there.
Scott Huff was the first person to call him.
Yeah. Yeah. There you
Uh,
go.
he's going to be a great guard. He's
That'd be
he's
fun.
big. He
Now
can move.
I want the Seahawks to draft Jordan Jefferson now
Oh
too,
man,
though.
those camp battles.
Seahawks to draft Jordan Jefferson
They
like I
got
need
two.
blood in my body.
They got two really big guards in Anthony Bradford
Hmm.
uh and Christian Haynes. I
Hmm.
mean, getting him at 81 is just incredible value. So
Yep.
I'm not upset that they didn't get Peyton Wilson there. Tip Freeman, find Jesus.
Fine. We'll call it the Fine Jesus podcast.
We're gonna get people who are gonna be pretty mad about that title.
Yeah, no, well, we're gonna avoid that one, but
Blake
tip for
Corum, not a third round pick for me.
no, we had a 5 and 7 on the horizontal board, and that's not. I like Blake Corum, but 83 is rich with that much tread on your tires, man.
He's a
Especially your
college player.
size. Yeah.
They already have a small, slow running back. His name's
Yep.
Kyron Wilson.
Williams.
Williams. Whoops.
They
They're
also have a
probably gonna
Kyron
move
Wilson
on from
actually.
what?
They do have a Kyron. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be funny if they actually do have a Kyron. They have a Kyron Williams and a Kyron Wilson.
They're probably gonna move on from him in a year or two anyways.
Well, because that's the way running backs work. But he was a
Especially
Pro
for the
Bowler
Rams.
last year.
Especially for the Rams. I mean they
Yeah, that's true.
so was Cam Akers like 3 years ago, right?
That's true. Uh, Roman Wilson.
Oh
Talk about
man.
two picks that I would have like if you'd shown me this mock draft a few months ago, I would have been like, I can just flip those for you and you'll be all right. But yeah, Roman
I was like
Wilson.
a oof, that's gotta hurt one for me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man. The
I like
Steeler had to
him.
be the Steelers, man.
Had to be they're killing it. I'm not even gonna lie. They're
They're
having a
having
great
a really
offseason
good
because
draft,
they
man.
had a good free agency too. But
Got
yeah, they
Russell
did
Wilson for nothing.
yeah. Yeah. They're I don't know if they'll be that much better than they were last year, to be quite honest with you, because it's like they still really haven't improved the corner room at all. But hey, there's always tomorrow, right? There's still a lot of good corners available
There
left
are.
too.
There
So
are.
um no, this is a great pick for the Steelers, honestly. Plug and play slot receiver, gonna be a mismatch nightmare. So good thing we got Mike Hilton because AFC North teams that don't have a good slot defender gonna be in trouble. Um, Zach Zinter, good football player, good football player. Browns find good offensive linemen. That's just what they do. And he doesn't need to play right away, most importantly, so he can be a
Yeah,
draft and stash
he's
guy.
gonna be a replacement, and they're just gonna continue having a great O line.
Yep. And then if you take out honestly, if you take out Roman Wilson, these like however was that 7 picks in a row here, it's just like okay picks other than
I
Roman
like
Wilson.
Sinter and Roman.
And Zinter too, but it's like that's a drafted stash in a way. So it like
Yeah,
doesn't get you excited the way Roman
yeah.
Wilson
Pooney.
does.
I was
Sure,
never big
okay,
on him.
fine. Yeah,
He'll be
well we
another
have him.
average.
We have him as
Here's
a
the
four.
foul. I didn't have him as a third rounder,
Yeah, we have him a four.
and I
Whatever.
thought that
Okay.
was generous. Marshawn
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Sure, fine, whatever. We had him at a yeah, we had
This
him
isn't a
mid
year I'd
four.
like to be drafting running backs.
Yeah. There's still some good value on running backs actually on day 3 with Jalen Wright and Braylon Allen still there.
Braylon
Patrick
Allen,
Estime.
I'd take a chance on if you're playing heavy gap scheme.
Yeah.
That
Um
picture of Tyke Smith is really bad.
yeah,
That's
that's a
like
rough one.
that's
I can't pull this up real fast.
That's Aaron. That's Aaron Jones.
Yeah, it's not a good talk about Tyke Smith though. Actually, we didn't talk about Marist Liufau at all.
I said not. I said, oh gosh, that's not good.
That's a
Oh,
that's a
get that off. I can't see that.
so we want to look at him, man.
That
Dang.
scares me, man. No, I said he's not a three for me. I'm not a big fan of him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought he was like a six, honestly.
Yeah,
5 or 6.
not a fan.
Um, yeah, so that was a little bit of a fall from grace for
That's a
Dallas
team that
after they
did
killed
not
it with Cooper
have. That's a
Beebe.
team that did not have Peyton Wilson on their board
Yep.
because they basically already had Peyton Wilson. His name was Leighton Vander Esch.
Yep. I do like Tyke Smith a lot.
I do too. I do
I
too.
think that's a good pick at 89, honestly. That's good value. You can just move him all over the defense. He
Hmm.
could be a slot defender, he could
Good
be
for that scheme
safety.
too.
Yep. Yep. So I think it's a really good pick there at 89. Um, Elijah Jones is a good
Solid.
football player. Yeah,
Yep.
long arms. I do like some of the things he offers in Arizona. They needed a corner. I would have addressed corner earlier, or I probably would have gone with TJ Tampa or even
I
Kyrie
can't
Jackson
believe
here.
he's still on the
But
board.
he's fun. Yeah. Yeah. I'm shocked there. That's a guy definitely I'd be pounding the table for at 115 potentially if he falls that far. I could see him going very early tomorrow. Tyron Hopper. Okay,
Yep.
sure.
Sure. J Mac, good spot for him. Good
Yeah.
spot for him.
Yeah, Bucks had a good third round. Couple good
Really
picks here
good
in a
spot
row.
for him, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Being next to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Happy for him. He had a cool video of him celebrating.
Yep. Isaac, a guy neither of us were super high on, but third round, 93 overall.
Edge
Yeah.
was is getting pretty thin, so if you
Yeah,
want one,
that's
get it
fine.
when you can, right?
Yeah. Jalix Hunt,
Our
best
boy.
name in the draft.
Yep.
Best name in the
He
draft
had a
going to
cool
Philly.
story. He had a cool
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, first Houston Christian guy ever drafted.
Go
So
dogs.
go dogs. Um,
Dwayne Carter.
Dwayne Carter. Yeah, I had him as a 4, early
Solid.
3, or sorry, late 3. Yeah, that's fine. I think he's a good football player. I think he's a good football player. It's a good fit in Buffalo too. For what Sean McDermott likes to do there. So
Hmm.
no
Oh yeah.
complaints there.
That's another 4-3 team I forgot to mention. But they play
Yeah.
too high. They don't
Hmm.
play cover three.
Yeah. Jerry Jones, Renardo Green's running mate, in Florida State. I like Jerry Jones. I
I
like
think
Renardo
both of
Green
those
better.
corners
This is where
benefited a lot from their D line.
I think this is where Renardo Green should have gone, and I think Jerry Jones should have gone
That's fair.
around
That's fair.
later.
I think both of those Florida
It's
State
fine.
defenders really benefited from a dominant front seven.
Yeah. McKinley Jackson. I don't want to be too
I
negative.
liked them. I liked them. A
I,
little high,
he's
not
dead.
time,
Yeah.
fourth
I
round.
don't I don't like drafting an athletic nose tackle at 97 overall. The ceiling's low. The floor's high because I mean, what's he gonna do? He's just gonna basically be a body. Sure, rotational nose tackle, I guess. He does fine, whatever. I guess the pro plus of this is you got 6 picks tomorrow, so you're not going to be using any of them on a nose tackle. Yeah, because you got that need taken care
He's
of.
good at what he does. He's good at what he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. And then Peyton Wilson was the next pick. And granted, the Bengals
Oh, we
didn't
were
need a
so
linebacker,
close,
but
man.
yeah,
That one hurt.
he's a really good football
He's
player.
such a good player. Can he stay healthy? That's the question. Horrific shoulder. Only has one ACL. Yeah, already had
Hmm.
2 ACL surgeries.
Yep.
Medicals were horrendous. Um,
Hmm.
Heard Mike McDonald liked him a lot. Tough,
Hmm.
tough that. I
Yep.
said trade up from 102. Go get him.
Yep. Cam Kinshin's already talked about this pick a little
Solid
bit. At
value.
this round, I like the value. At this point, I should say I
Yep.
like that value. Rams, they get their DBs to play well. They get no name DBs to play well. So
Oh yeah.
Cam
You
Kinshin's
know
will be
why? You
fine
know
there
why? Aaron
because of Jimmy
Donald.
Lake. Oh, well, that too. Um,
Luke
that too.
McCaffrey, player I liked a lot. Just
Yeah.
really great
Hmm.
acceleration.
Yeah.
That matters a lot
Versatile
for a
too.
slot.
They know
Hmm.
Jaden Daniels doesn't work out. Just put him a quarterback.
Hmm. I liked him a lot. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna be a good pro player. He's got it in his blood, man. It's in his blood.
Yep. Yep. No, he's a good player. He's a good football player. I think Washington's going to be very happy. Like I said, I think Washington's having a great draft.
I think the best draft so far for me is Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's up there too. Pittsburgh and Washington are probably the two for me because Washington, Daniels, Newton, Sanderstill, Sanat.
Gosh.
Brandon Coleman, but then Luke
That's
McCaffrey,
a really good draft
that's a
so far,
good
man.
haul.
That's
And
a
then
good haul.
Steelers, Troy Fatanu, Frazier, Roman, Wilson. Yeah, I mean, I would say you
And
might
you're
give the
picking
edge to this.
20th.
Yeah, you might get. Yeah, I would maybe give the edge to the Steelers based on A, again, like you said, they're picking 20th, so they don't have the benefit of the second overall pick. And B, they don't have a pick like Brandon Coleman in there where it's just like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever. All of their picks are awesome picks.
they know what
Um,
they're doing, man. Hate it.
yeah, yeah. We'll see though, because their quarterback situation's still kind of iffy, and they do need to
Hmm.
address corner here
Lions had
soon.
a good draft. Where's Pickett? Is Pickett still on the roster?
Pickett?
Yeah,
Kenny Pickett?
yeah.
Oh, he's the backup in Philly now. They traded him.
I was trying to. That's what I was asking. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, they traded him. They traded him.
Who else is
Um,
who else has had a solid draft? Let's see here.
I'm looking at the. I wish there was a way I could sort by.
I know, yeah.
Oh yeah, never mind. You can right here.
Ah, there we
But
go.
I have to go. I literally have to go team by team though. It's the problem. Let's see.
Oh, started strong.
They're
There's
pro. I
some
would
good
say
picks.
if
There's some bad picks.
these first four, yeah, I like them, and then these last, I like Elijah Jones. These two in the middle though are pretty rough,
I
rough
don't know
draft.
how you can take Tip Freeman in the third round.
Yeah. Atlanta.
Biased. I'm biased.
Yeah, I like Rook. I will just have to see what
NFL.com
ends
is
up.
just a horrendous website, and it's been like that for years, like 10 plus
Yeah,
years.
Baltimore here.
Doing
Some
Baltimore
good
things.
players. Yeah, yeah, good players. Actually, it's not quite as like awesome as their
That's true.
drafts normally are. Keon, yeah, I like Buffalo's draft. Not
Solid,
working with
solid.
top, but doing good work with it.
I'm really, I'm biased. I'm a Seahawks fan, but
Yeah.
I really do love our two picks so far. I think
hmm
those are just huge for the trenches.
I agree. I like those ones too. Leggett, Brooks, and Wallace here for the
Uh,
Panthers. I
uh,
like the first two. I like the first two, and then I'm just kind of on Wallace.
oh, this
Chicago.
this is a good haul. It's a good haul.
They only have one pick tomorrow. Caleb
Really?
Rome
How do
and
they
then
not
Kirk
have any
Aaron.
picks?
Let's traded them all, I guess.
For what?
Cincinnati. I don't know. If you stopped right here, if they did not have pick 97, period, I would be giving this a higher grade. Like if we were just like, oh, their next pick is round four, pick 15. Um, if it was just Mims, Jenkins, Burton, I'd be
Yeah,
loving this draft.
yeah.
But I'm kind of sour after the Jackson pick.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, he's a solid nose tackle. Those bodies aren't frequent. You got to get over it, man.
I love their other three picks. Paul
McKinley
Zinter.
Jackson will be a solid long-term player.
There you go. I hope you're
He's
right.
Andrew Billings. He's Andrew Billings.
Yeah, okay, okay. My call, Zach Center. Not a lot working with in Cleveland, but they're doing good
Trenches.
work
Hey,
with what they
you know what
are.
that is? That's a poor man's Seahawks draft.
Yep. Dallas. Mm,
I like their two middle picks.
yeah, two middle picks are good. This one's major reach in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um,
He
Denver.
got picked that high because he's a Golden Domer. Ugh,
Yeah,
ugh,
not a
not
lot
good.
in
Not
Denver.
good.
Not great. Not great in Denver. How many picks do they got
They're gonna be
tomorrow?
picking first overall next year.
Yeah, there's a good shot at it. Denver. And it's a good thing they already picked their quarterbacks. There's no good quarterbacks next year. Um, Troy, Terrion, and Ennis. Yeah, I mean, not
I
a
like
lot to
it.
work
I
with,
like
but
it.
they're doing good work, and especially in the secondary.
What they
Green
trade their
Bay.
two for? Or three?
I think that was probably trading up for Terrion.
Yep.
I liked what in round two. I really liked what
That's a
Green Bay did
Packers
in round
draft
two.
if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I love what they did in round two. Their other
What are they up to? I'll trade for Quay Walker.
Well, I think Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker are going to be teaming up because they don't have any inside linebackers after those guys.
What about the third
Uh,
one they took?
Tyron Hopper?
Yeah.
That's a good question, actually. Um, they did use a third on him. Kamari Laster, Blake Fisher. Yeah, I mean Texans doing solid work.
I
I know
like those
neither of us were
picks.
huge Laster
Get
guys, but
get CJ a weapon, man. Get CJ a
yeah,
weapon.
Troy Franklin's
Wait,
still
don't
out
they
there.
have
Maybe that's
Stephon
the
Diggs now
target.
though?
Yeah, yeah, but you can never have too many weapons.
Interesting.
Latu, Mitchell. Okay.
I
Colts are on there.
I like
Yeah.
Law too, but
I know you didn't love. You don't love either of the other two guys.
I don't
So
like the other two. Yeah.
Brian Thomas
Mm,
Mason, yeah,
mm.
not huge on Jacksonville's either. Not huge on Jacksonville. KC,
Boomer
worthy
busts.
and soon went to yeah, boomer bust, but I mean both positions where they've done a good job of developing in the past, so I can see the vision. Raiders. I
I
like
like their first
Bowers.
two. I like
Yeah.
JPJ at 44 is where he should
Yeah,
be going.
JPJ, yeah, 44 solid. Just Glaze kind of a big reach there.
I'm not glazing glaze.
I'm not gonna be glazing Delmar Glaze. Joe, yeah, I mean, shoot, Chargers having a solid
I
draft
like
here,
this.
getting
I
good
like these
football
picks.
players. Alt
This
McConkey
is how
and
you
Wilson.
rebuild a team.
Yeah, no, those are some good picks there for the Chargers. Rammies, the Ramily, Jared Verse, Braden Fix, Blake
I like their
Corum, Cam.
first two. I don't like their second two.
I like Cam Kinchins at 99.
That's fair.
Corum, yeah. So, but those first two are definitely carrying. That's gonna be a scary pass rush there next year.
Seahawks aren't
Even
aren't winning the division next year. That's okay.
Rams, where are we at? Where are we
Go
at? There
take
you go,
Spencer Rattler.
Dolphins.
Go take Spencer Rattler. Build for the future.
Chop. Man, Dolphins have a lot of picks. Chop and Patrick Paul.
Solid.
Sure. Okay.
No
Probably not
Xavier
gonna be near
Worthy.
the top of the rankings, but fine. Dolphin. Where was I? Dang it. I'm getting screwed up. Vikings. Here we go. They didn't do a lot. Yeah, they did nothing today. JJ and Dallas,
I
though.
like
They
it.
did good. Good with
Poor
what they
man,
did
poor man
have.
CJ and Will Anderson.
There you go. Very poor minutes. New England, May, Polk. I like the first two.
Polk at
Caden Wallace at
37 is a little
68
high for
is.
me. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I do like him as a player. Caden Wallace, I had like a fifth on. So
That was
that's where
high.
I
People
do like.
were
Hey, Drake.
reaching for tackles today.
I still hold the Drake May was my QB two though. I'm sticking to that. So I do
It's
like the.
close for me.
I do
It's
like the
close for
pickup.
me.
Yeah.
I like
Um.
those two picks.
Yeah. No. Saints doing good with what they
Saints,
had.
tear
They
it
don't.
down. Just do it. Rip off the
Yeah.
fucking Band-Aid. Mickey Loomis, you'll get another job. Dennis Allen, you'll be a DC. You probably like that better anyways.
Yeah. You're a good DC, Dennis Allen. You've been a good DC everywhere you've been. I
Uh,
like New
I
York's
like
draft
Newbin.
too.
I like
Yeah.
Newbin.
I like Phillips and Neighbors too. I like New York's draft. They haven't done a lot though. Only three picks. Only three picks. We're about to come up on Seattle with two, and we're about to come up on Jets who only had two. But I think sure,
I
I
like
can get behind
Corley
this too.
in the third. You know how we both felt about Flolu
Yeah,
highest.
Eagles. Here we go.
A plus.
J looks. I mean, yeah, J looks. We'll see.
Edge
Obviously, when we
was
take an
thin.
FCS edge
Edge was
rusher, yeah,
thin.
it's tough. But man, they nailed these first two. They
That
nailed
is
those first
ridiculous,
two.
man. Howie Roseman, he can't keep
Yeah,
getting away with it.
two of the top three corners, which your number one need was corner. It's ridiculous.
And
We
two
don't even need
great
to talk
fits for
about.
Fangio. Oh, just we said it already. Really, really
Yeah,
good.
I don't even want to talk
That's
about.
the best draft so far.
I think so. I agree. I agree. 49ers.
Woof.
Yeah, that's probably one of the worst.
You know,
That's one
they
of the
have not
worst.
been drafting well lately. They
They
really
really
haven't,
haven't. No.
other than Brock Purdy.
Seahawks doing, I mean, not having a lot, but doing great with the picks they do
I'd
have.
say A minus B plus of
Hmm.
not much to do, but you got two impact starters in my opinion.
Agreed. I've loved both their picks so far. Tampa. Hmm,
Hmm.
you know what? I kind of like, other than Braswell, I do like all
I
three
do
of these
like all their
guys.
players. I
None
think
of
I
these, none that are like making me do backflips or getting super excited, but
I think I'm gonna
they're all
follow
good.
NFL a lot more this year and just watch the season that all of these last year's dogs have because I
Yeah.
think a lot of them are gonna play well.
Yeah. Titans, I already know they only had two picks, and I know who the two were too. It was
Yeah,
Sweat
and they're
and
not very
Latham.
good. Oh,
Yeah,
woof.
didn't do good.
Hey,
Not not
Tennessee
not a fan of the
Titans,
Titans draft.
the draft called. It wants your picks from 2000 back.
Not a fan of the Titans draft. And here you go,
Solid.
Washington.
I
Holy
like it. I
crap.
like a lot of their picks.
Washington and Pittsburgh are the two for
Other
me.
than Brandon
Washington
Coleman,
more other than Brandon Coleman. Washington's more of a quantity thing. But even that's like Newton. Man. Ooh,
a
Newton
lot
at
of hits.
36, Samerstill, Sinat, Caffrey
You
at
know who Jazar
100.
Newton's gonna play next to, right?
Jonathan Allen and
and
Deron
Deron
Payne.
Payne. Yeah.
So what a
They
trio
really
right
didn't need an
there.
interior guy, but like he's here,
No, they
fuck it.
didn't.
And I don't blame him. I'd do it too.
No, no, man. Dan Quinn just absolutely gonna be eaten with those kids
Finger.
on the interior.
Finger looking good. Eli.
There
That's
you
what
go.
people have been saying about the Seahawks D line. Honestly, I kind of agree. I'm excited for the Seahawks D line, man. I think Byron Murphy's gonna make all the pieces finally come together.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's one
All
through
right, give the
three.
Bengals a
That's
grade. Give the Bengals a grade.
B. It's just
B.
straight B. Straight B.
I'm going.
Again, I know it's hard to like have one pick just kind of derail the draft for me. But they were cooking until McKinley Jackson. It just kind of took all the wind out of the sails. It was a comp pick though, so it's also like, it's not a pick you were gonna have regularly anyway. So
That's the who brought that pick?
that was TJ Hushmanzada.
No. The comp.
Oh, that was Jesse Bates.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'd say A minus B plus, pretty close there.
I love the
Quantity,
first three
quality.
picks. I love the first three picks.
We had two picks.
Oh, I
Oh, I'm
meant
talking for the
Cincinnati.
Seahawks. I'm
Oh, for
talking for
Seattle, I'd give him an easy A minus. Just if there was more quantity, you were talking A.
yeah.
But if they hit tomorrow the way they were hitting today, this is gonna be an A draft for them for sure.
All right. What do you want to see tomorrow from the Bengals?
They still need to address DB, specifically corner. From there, I'm happy if they just go BPA with all their picks. Running back, probably something you want to attack eventually. Tight end, same story, probably want to attack that eventually. Um, but just let the board fall to you and just take the best guy available with each one. And I'm gonna be more than happy with how they walk out of it. If they have a good tomorrow, I will completely forget the McKinley Jackson pick.
You're such a hater, man. He's gonna be a
If
good
if
player.
if they get Jalen Wright at 115, we're golden
You're
because
good, yeah.
then I'll just mentally flip those picks and I'll be all right
Okay,
with it.
okay. It's the old DK Metcalf, LJ Collier.
Yep, exactly. All right, right there, right there. Um, boy, you've talked about Spencer Rattler at 102, obviously, but anything else?
Pull
Any
the
other
trigger,
targets?
man. Pull the trigger.
Yeah,
I think he can be a good. I think he can be better than Gino.
yep,
Let him sit for a year.
yep.
Yeah, sure. You traded for Sam Howell, whatever. Yeah. Who cares though? Keep
Mhm.
shooting. Keep taking shots. Keep rolling the dice.
Keep rolling the dice. I like
He
that. I
is
like that.
served on a golden platter for you. Oh, we didn't want to take him in the second or third round. We had other stuff we had to take. Okay, yeah, sure. Guess what? He's there for you. Go
Yep.
take him.
Hmm.
I'm sure Schneider loves that arm.
Hmm. Yep. If they were thinking about Penix, and maybe they
I think
were,
they were.
you have
I
to
think
at
they.
least think about Rattler in the fourth. So, um,
Some other dudes I'd be okay with at 102 though. Theo Johnson. I think we need to
mhm,
address the tight end position long term. Um, there's really not linebackers I like anymore. So I think
mhm,
I think probably just punt on linebacker or maybe take a small
mhm,
school guy. Um, Safety, I think there's some really good dudes still right there at safety. Malik Mustafa's still there. Jaden
mhm.
Hicks. At someone tip
Jaden
someone
Hicks
tipped me
still being
off.
available is crazy.
Someone tipped me off at to Jade to they think Jaden Hicks at 102 is a big chance of that.
I could see it. Would make a lot of sense. Make all the sense in the world.
I'd like to pick up a receiver in 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I'd like to pick up a receiver.
Still
Take
some
the
good
shot.
ones. Still some good
Take
ones.
take the shot. Take the shot. Go get your quarterback of the future.
Imagine if Troy Funnington ends up with a Seahawk after all the shit you've talked.
Fuck.
That'd be a good value in the
It
fourth,
would.
though.
It would. At 118, I
Yeah,
wouldn't hate it to be honest.
yeah,
I think one of 102 or 118 is going to be a safety.
yeah. Hicks makes a lot of sense. Shoot, I thought Hicks was for sure going today. So
I thought so too. I'm surprised he's still on the board.
yeah,
Safe
there you go.
safeties have hardly been touched today.
No, really. I mean, because let's see, Newbin.
Kalen Bullock.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Let me pull this up. So the
Lassiter.
safeties that did
Well,
go.
what did he get
Actually,
listed at?
can we do this in
Just
prospects?
get the horizontal board up. Oh, wait, no, but that's the ones who got picked.
No, 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 no. So we can do that. We can do that still. So let me pull it over here. So we can do that. So here we go. So the
Oh, nice.
safeties, I've been crossing off the ones that got picked. So Mustafa, Hicks, Taylor Demerson, Oladapo, and Vaki are guys that we had ranked
There's great
that are all
value.
still there.
There's some really good safeties still there.
Hmm.
Also, there's some great guards left. Look at that. Bo Limmer,
Yeah.
Mason McCormick, Cedric Van Ranger, Christian Mahogany, Theo
Yep.
Johnson still being there. Spencer Rattler, man. Look at all the receivers who went though. Whew.
Yep. Yep. Troy Franklin, Javon Baker, and then these three are the only three guys we've got. There's still a lot of tight ends that we
A lot of
had
defensive
redone.
tackles went today. A lot of them went.
Yep. Yep. So there you go. There's a little brief update.
Ducks have
All
only had
every tackle is now off the board that we
tackles went
evaluated.
flying off the board today, man.
Yep. Still a lot of running backs available too, obviously. Yeah, there you go. Linebackers, two guys here. Yeah, no. So there's a little
I'd take a chance on Trotter.
yeah. Sweet. Well, there you go. Starting to get pretty
Exciting day,
lit.
man.
Yeah,
Exciting
exciting
day.
day. Day two is always fun. Day two is always fun. So
My
excited we're
biggest
able to break it
fear
down.
is someone jumps us for Rattler, Panthers.
I can see that. I can see that. But only one way to find out. We'll
What
find out
time's the start
tomorrow.
tomorrow? Noon?
9 a.m. 9 a.m. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll be
Fuck,
able to
my
talk about then.
I think I'm gonna be at a little league baseball game tomorrow though, so I miss some of it. I'll
That's
be
all
on my
right.
phone though.
I'll be updating you. I'll be updating you. So sweet. Well, that's it. That's it for tonight's edition of the West Coast Draft Podcast. We'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. We'll play with it, but we'll be breaking down all the day three
We'll be
action
back
as well.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. But as always, thanks for watching. Oh wait, sorry, Rob, break us down.
Ooh, trying to think of a good one. You got a good one? I'll give it to you.
If one of us drafts Bo Nix at 12 overall, we all
Oh,
draft Bo Nix at
no,
12
thanks.
overall.
No, no.
If one of us hits like, we all hit like. If one of us hits subscribe, we all hit subscribe.